Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday morning, April the 27th, and welcome back to the conversation. I hope everyone's having a fantastic week. I certainly am, and I am so thrilled that you're joining us this morning and continuing this wonderful conversation we've had now for this will be our 17th week. How time flies when you're having fun. So let's hear from everybody. Who's out there this morning? Get into that chat window and let's hear who we have and where we're coming in from this morning. And I hope you are enjoying as nice a weather as we are here in Naples, Florida. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? I know where you are. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. Welcome. We got a great topic today. Kristen, hi, good to see you. Sunny Sarasota. Chris and I had dinner about a month ago at a wonderful restaurant downtown, and Sarasota was rocking that night. It's a beautiful place. Hi, Rebecca. St. Petersburg. We got a lot of friends coming to see you today and tomorrow. Good morning, John. I hope you're doing well on the other coast. And Bill, good morning to you. Yes, Virginia, good morning. Love seeing everybody up, Madam, this morning. Jill, good to see you. Another Sarasota friend. And wonderful Wisconsin, my good buddy, Lord Bowley, coming in from Green Bay. I bet the weather's starting to get beautiful there. Oh, yeah, another Wisconsin. Aaron coming in from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Beautiful. I spent a little time in Milwaukee, for those that don't know. When we put one of our companies together, Journal Media Group, we were headquartered there in Milwaukee, the old Journal Group. Christopher, hey, good morning. Glad to see you this morning. All right, well, let's get into it. We got a good group as always, and really, really glad to see you. It so encourages my heart to see everybody jumping in here. And, we're working hard. We're going to continue to work hard to build out this collaboration around leadership. Well, today we're going to talk about a great topic. A topic that's very important to every company, every organization, and it really gets back to this whole concept, a very important business concept around alignment. And alignment goes into several areas. You're going to hear the word alignment a lot. Lexi, good morning to you. You're going to hear alignment a lot. Beretta, how you doing? You're going to hear alignment. But what we're really going to try to hone in on today is this concept of aligning our talent. We talked last week about the importance of dense talent. Really having a talent as a value and really leaning in as an organization around the development of that talent, the acquisition of that talent, and really making sure that we were not just giving it lip service, that we had the interest and the capacity to really attract and evaluate great talent. Good morning, Matthew. But Minnesota, beautiful Minnesota. I bet it's getting nice, starting to get nice there as well. But this week, we're going to talk about a little bit of alignment. All right, so we've got that talent now. We've brought them in. We're upskilling our internal talent. We're creating a culture of performance. It's self-perpetuating. People are getting into it. They see the vision, and they're ready to go. Good morning, Lord. And now we're going to talk about, as a leader, are we aligning that talent to the greatest opportunity, the greatest potential for that organization to capitalize on those individuals that are giving of their talents to our organization. So collectively we win as a body, right? So I'd ask you a few questions to consider, so how are you acquiring that talent? And let's evaluate that against the purpose that we have and the statement that we make against the job descriptions that we have. And as we go out in the market and look for these individuals, that there is an alignment to the strategy. You're not just putting bringing warm bodies into the organization. It is strategic. That acquisition of individuals to work for your company has a strategic intent. They are coming here to help you do a job and to create a result, a positive result. So do you have a strong a recruitment arm related that understands the operation well enough to know when they're assessing that talent that they want or a good fit? Fit's important. Don't discount fit. But it's not everything. People, you get diversity and difference of opinion and all those things are highly valuable to create a culture of creativity and candor and collaboration where people really bring forward great ideas that you can leverage. So do you have a recruiting mechanism that understands all that and is qualified to penetrate the market and tell your story better than any other? Today, right now, every conversation I'm in with a business leader is really about talent to a big degree. It comes back around to how are you finding people? How are other people finding people? And really thinking about that. Do you have a mechanism for internal development? Just think about that. Keep it in the back of your mind. And some people even talk a lot about, we grow our own, in a more mature business. Sometimes it's hard to attract people to a mature business. So you do have to kind of grow some of your own or develop your own. And how do you apply that talent? So that's the second question for you. And that's where alignment really starts becoming important. It's really important, like we're talking about in a mature organization. It is easy to get into a routine of just replacing people. Well, I would challenge you. Good morning, Carrie. I would challenge you not to just think about every time you're hiring somebody as just a replacement. It is an opportunity to you to reassess how you're deploying assets, human capital. That's not a cold statement. That's a warm statement. That's recognizing that they are highly valuable. Make sure every time that you have turnover, you take advantage of that turnover to reassess the needs of your business against the market opportunity. That is something that should be part of your hiring process and part of your alignment work. And then how do you retain and build them? If you have a great onboarding process out there, shoot it in the chat. We have a great onboarding process. And then maybe tell us a sentence or two about how you go about it. I will tell you from my experience, this is one of the gaps in many, many organizations. And as a consultant, helping organizations think about these things, it has become I've become more aware of it. The ability, once you hire somebody, to really bring them in a great experience, right? That they come in, they understand the culture quickly, they're embraced, they're welcome, they quickly meet and learn from other people. They're getting integrated into that culture, what it means, what your values are, how to apply your skills against those values. So if you have a great onboarding process, jump in there and tell us how. If you don't, I would recommend that's something you really think about. When you go out and bring somebody into your organization, it's like inviting them into your family, right? How do you really welcome them and help them feel part of what's going on and prepare them and arm them to be highly successful? And I often wonder, when does this stop? In today's environment, today's business, does really onboarding ever stop? I don't know. I think that's part of the ongoing continuous assessment and evaluation of what the company really needs. So harken back to last week, and we talked about something that I've really still love: hire leaders to multiply growth. So remember that. You're also looking for influential skills. It's part of your talent in my mind. Multiply growth through hiring influencers, because leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. So I'm going to hit on a few topics that prepared us for this week that I closed with last week, but I went through them in a real hurry because we were running out of time. So how do you create your own dream team, right? And remember, density feeds upon itself. It's self-perpetuating. It creates referrals. It creates peer-to-peer mentoring opportunities where all boats rise on a rising tide and everyone's committed to the collective impact of the organization, not the individual and the individual impact. That's certainly important, but they put service above self and they rise to the occasion of the collective win, right? So place appropriate value and priority on top talent, not warm bodies. Now, what do I mean by that? You define in your organization what top means, right? Look at your organizational design. Look at the market. Look at where your opportunity really exists. And back to what we were talking about earlier, make sure that the people you're bringing in align to the current realities of the marketplace, not the history of your organization, right? And then are you continually evaluating this? Org design is so important, because that is where it gives you the opportunity to really do alignment every day. And Carrie's right, learning never stops. And we're going to talk about more of that as well. So is your company desirable to top talent? You really got to ask yourself this honestly. And if you are, can you lay that out for prospects? Can you lay the why that is true out to prospects? Because if you can, that's a great message to articulate all around your organization. And remember, this is just a self-assessment exercise every time you need to hire somebody. Jill says our owner conducts new employee orientation to tell the story, the history, and the organization's mission. Nothing better than your leader clarifying what you stand for, how you apply that value, how you apply that history, and what you represent in the marketplace beyond just a product or service you provide. Great point, Jill. So, secondly, employ a rigorous evaluation process. Now, what are we talking about here? This is a communications protocol. This is not a sit down and tell you what you didn't do well. This is truly evaluation process is not just a performance conversation. It is an evaluation process. It is the alignment again, right? The opportunity for you to express to your teammates in a formalized way what the needs of the organization are today and how those needs may be different than they were yesterday. What we're doing together to align, to build those skills for you as individuals to compete in the current marketplace. Wow, that is going to create a lot of great conversation, right? But it's also a great time to listen, to really hear, what are you hearing in the marketplace? What are you hearing within the organization? What is the culture saying about what we're doing and how well we're doing it? And be active in that conversation, right? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? And also here is the opportunity to really think about alignment to values. This is the time, right? And this is an opportunity for you to really express what good looks like in practice. And Carrie says the why is so important. Absolutely. And Kristen says, first step in building the culture. You're exactly right. Now, John Maxwell put it this way: talent is a gift, but character is a choice. That gets back to the the values piece. So as you're going through all of this, make sure that your people also align to what's most important, and that's the values you represent. No opportunity to excuse that away. Then identify and develop current team members. Skill up. I got to tell you, I don't think there's anything more important, but also just such a way of showing your compassion than recognizing, particularly in a mature business, that somebody's been there 20 or 30 years, they may need to redevelop their skills. The market is dynamic. The market's in perpetual motion, right? We as an organization have to equally be in perpetual motion, particularly when it comes to our skill sets. Universities are starting to move much more towards upskilling than they are just entry-level education, right? Because so many people need to reskill. This is an organizational value that you could really separate yourself on, helping people move forward, be life learners, provide the tools, do what we're doing here today, really lean in and help them understand the pathway to remaining competitive as an individual so that they can highly contribute. Why is that important? Because I've never met anyone that gets up in the morning and doesn't want to contribute to something and contribute something positive. If you can create a path where they can continually contribute and keep up with the pace of the market, you are going to be viewed as a great leader and a great organization. Regularly recognize and reward 4 important things: attitude, performance, collaboration, and innovation. Very, very important competencies in my mind in 2022. And then back to the evaluation. Now we're going to go a little deeper. You have to address low performance and performance of the organization. So performance is individual and collective as an organization. You got to evaluate both. Are you losing your competitive edge? If you are, think about your strategy and then think about how that talent gets behind that strategy. Update your vision. Improve your inspiration around those changes. But if you ignore poor or even mediocre talent, this is the thing that's jumped out at me for many years, you are actually rewarding it. Let that sink in. You ignore it, you reward it. Your top talent does not miss that. I promise you. Some of the hardest conversations I've had, some of you even on this chain, have been conversations why are we putting up with that? Boy, that's a tough question. It's a tough question as a leader because there's nothing that demoralizes a high performer more than ignoring a slacker, a lack of performance. Now, that doesn't mean they have to be negative. Your job is to teach them, mentor them, move them through the process, improve their performance, or help them see they're not a good fit or their skills don't align to the needs of your organization. But there are a lot of organizations out there that need those skills. This is a compassionate leadership skill, right? All right. People need more than a paycheck. It's kind of the final point on how we build a great team. They need a purpose. Compensation typically is 3 or 4 on the list of what's most important to people when they choose where to work. Remember, they don't need a paycheck, they need a purpose. The better people you hire, the fewer you need. That's just a reality. We all know it, right? And remember, talent density, alignment to strategy, alignment to purpose perpetuates. They bring friends. They tell their story. They talk about how much they do, and business grows. Why? People hear that in the market. People want to do business with companies like that, and they want to do business with people like that, right? This is just one of the reasons of obtaining and retaining top talent and developing a company culture around it is what drives success. So to reiterate, the companies that have high talent density consistently outperform others and have higher productivity levels. Data's clear, undeniable. Consistently promote, innovate, and affect change. We talked about that a little bit last week. Affect change. Wow, talent affects change. They are aware, they're competent, they're confident, they're going to bring innovation to the table. Attract even more great talent. We talked about it through the referrals, and the satisfaction in those companies is much higher among employees than companies that settle for mediocrity. While talent density is essential for remaining competitive, it's equally important to ensuring these high performers are put in a position to best optimize that skill. That's what we've been talking about all morning. Alignment, optimization to the skills they bring, to the best needs of the organization creates great satisfaction because people feel like they're contributing at a highest level. They are living their best professional life. You know, Alan Schweier said, and it's an interesting point, talent must be viewed as the most indispensable ingredient for success, but success also depends on how that talent is managed. Now, Bill Barker is going to modify that a little bit because I've never been a big fan of the term managed. I like inspire what you desire, but the truth is you've got to be engaged is what they're saying. That the reality that talent's indispensable is not argued, cannot be debated. It's how you interact with that talent so that they feel they have the latitude to fully contribute. That's the key. Deployed, remember, not employed, deployed. They're deployed against those opportunities. Remember, leverage, alignment, that's key. You know, we all have unique gifts and abilities. The key is given when we're given the freedom and the flexibility to fully exercise those talents and then recognize the results of our work. That is operating at the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle, right? That means a freedom to challenge. We've talked about it a lot, right? Challenge methods, challenge processes. So go back to the old principle we talked about in leadership, challenge the process, give them the flexibility to be curious, to ask questions, to get answers. That to me, I told you before, I think that's the most difficult thing for most leaders is to really not only allow, but encourage candor and real conversation in your organization. Explore emerging possibilities. Think about possibility. What's possible? Explore those possibilities and have the flexibility to experiment. I think that's key. Flexibility to experiment. But then finally, when you do all that, you test, untested procedures and ideas and approaches and everything. What you ultimately end up with is you innovate forward. I love that term. Innovate forward. And you find solutions, right? So true happiness involves the full use of one's powers and talents, right? That's John Gardner said that. So how do we align our talent with our business strategy? Identify gaps in performance. Now, this is, again, individual and collectively. Determine what's working and what needs to be adjusted. Strategy, talent, the whole deal. Evaluate. Gap management. Anybody who's worked around me knows we talk a lot about gap management. Examine the hiring process, right? Make sure you're not just filling a position and that outweighs that need to fill, because we're under a lot of pressure to fill our positions. I know you are, but it's got to be with the right candidate. That's the key, right? Otherwise, it's short-sighted and you're going to have to repeat it. Comprise winning teams. I think this is key, but tough times don't last. Tough teams do. I love that sentiment. Group teams together that have complementary working styles. Employee disengagement most often comes from misalignment. Just remember that. Employee disengagement most often comes from misalignment, either with the job, the team, the manager, or the culture. Misalignment to the job, the team, the manager, the culture. When employees feel free, safe, and valued to contribute, then they thrive. Remember the acronym TEAM. Together, everyone achieves more. Team. Again, together, everyone achieves more. And again, I've said it many times. I won't reiterate too much. Realign the organization. Strategically align talent to the areas where the business has the greatest opportunity to flourish. Okay, we're at our hour. Jim, who we're going to give a book to today? Jill Raleigh got the book today for her engagement. Thank you. What book are we giving away, Jim? Put it in the chat there. We're giving away what today? Which one are we giving away? Here's my takeaway while Jim tells me that. You've heard, be careful the company you keep. I will tell you, Atomic Habits is the book. All right, Atomic Habits, Jill, congratulations. Woo, way to go. Here's my takeaway. You've heard the old adage, be careful the company you keep. Well, in reality, in business, it's a company is only as good as the people it keeps. Ha, love that. And that's an original, by the way. You've heard the saying, be careful the company you keep. In reality, a company is only as good as the people it keeps. Have a great week, everybody. Next week, we're going to jump into not letting the creep in, okay? Not letting the creep in the organization. Again, I greatly value your participation, your time. I hope you find it worthwhile. And I got to tell you, this was fun this morning. I appreciate all of you. You encourage my heart and you inspire me just by your interaction and your love for leadership, because our teams need your inspiration. Everybody have a great week and lead on. See you next week.